Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. This is Empowered Gems Tarot. My name is Melissa, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking at big changes coming to you in 2026. So this was one of the topics that you guys had requested that I upload, so I'm really excited to get into that. So we're going to look into specifically big changes that are potentially coming your way next year. Keeping it just really open, and we're just going to leave it up to what spirit wants to come through for you. Remember, this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages will vary in how specifically they may resonate with each individual viewer out there. As a best practice, if anything feels confusing, doesn't feel like it fits your situation, or if anything looks scary to you or like something that you don't want to receive, just know that you have free will. You don't have to accept anything that one of these general readings says about you. And if it's not resonating for you, just release it, let it go, and understand that the message is for somebody else out there in the collective who may have chosen the same reading as you. If you guys did want to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website and to purchase my decks is in the description box down below. Personal readings are a really good way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal energy and situation. Okay, so let's go ahead and select your reading. If you're drawn to reading number 1, we're working with the Angel Tarot and some clear quartz. If you're drawn to reading number 2, we're working with the Stained Glass Tarot and fluorite. If you're drawn to reading 3, we're working with the Good Tarot and sunstone. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about big changes coming your way in 2026. And go ahead and select the deck or crystal that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hey, group 1, if you guys were drawn to the Angel Tarot and this clear quartz, this will be your reading. We're going to be looking into changes coming to you in 2026. I don't know if you guys heard that because of my microphone being on, but there was like this gigantic loud horn that just honked as I was turning on to record your reading. And so I kind of feel like that is a sign. I feel like there's something about 2026 that could feel loud, or maybe there's something disruptive or something bold, like something bold that's changing for you. So let's go ahead and see what you get. All right, so we're going to start with these 3 cards to kind of anchor us in the changes, and then I'm going to be building out your message with more cards as we go. So what's changing? We have the Sun in Capricorn in the 10th, achievement. We have Jupiter in Aries in the 1st, enterprise. Well, Aries is definitely a bold energy. The Sun is bold. And then we have Mars in Leo in the 5th, egotism. That's so interesting. So yeah, I think the horn honking was a sign. I think you guys are going to be in the spotlight and expressing yourselves a lot more in 2026. I think I'm going to combine the tarot and then we'll get into these messages, okay? Some big changes coming in for group 1, please, Spirit, in 2026. What do they need to know? Clarifying the Sun in the 10th. We have the Page of Pentacles, clarifying the Jupiter in the 1st. We have the Ace of Swords, and clarifying the Mars in the 5th. Six of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so let's jump in to what we have so far, and then we'll kind of keep building. I feel like for a lot of you guys with the sun in the 10th, this has to do with your public image, and the sun being the self, being you, our life force energy, our creative expression. It's very much connected to the sign of Leo. I think there is something about your public image that is going to be changing this year. Some of you guys could be going back to school with the Page of Pentacles coming up. Some of you guys could be maybe doing an internship. Maybe some of you guys are even getting some sort of a promotion at work. But the 10th house being here in the sign of Capricorn, this talks about like with the sun being seen. So this has to do with your visibility, and something about your visibility is going to be changing here. I do get a really strong leadership energy from all of these overall cards that you guys got. Even with this Jupiter in Aries in the first house, Aries is leadership energy. And so with this Ace of Swords coming up here, it could be part of what's changing for you is that you guys are shifting your mindset around leading something, or shifting your mindset around an idea or something that you had, and you're going after it more expansively, and you're going after it much more sharply and clearly and boldly than you have maybe in the past. Some of you guys too, like there could be I feel like there could also be something connected to like sports or athletics with the Aries energy, with Mars in the 5th. There could be something connected to that if that's something that you're into. So maybe like competitive sports or just competitive energy in general. Mars in the 5th house with egotism here, it does make me feel there's something like that you're taking a lot of pride in this year. But with the 6 of Pentacles coming up, it almost feels to me like maybe there's something here with Mars in the 5th where it's connected to your creative expression. It's connected to your hobbies, like competitive sports, things like that. But with the 6 of Pentacles here, I feel like you guys might be shifting the way that you go about it, right? The 6 of Pentacles is more of a measured energy where we don't necessarily give all of our resources over to something. We're careful, we're cautious, we're measured. We're almost like breadcrumbing how much we put into that. 5th house can also talk about dating. So something else that might be changing for some of you guys is I do feel for group 1, I feel like you guys might be, maybe you're currently dating someone or will encounter someone or just multiple love interests next year that kind of fit this energy of this kind of cocky, sort of person. And I think that you're breadcrumbing that. Like, I think that's a big shift that's coming through where you're no longer entertaining those types of antics in your love life or love affairs. 6 of Pentacles is sort of like, I'll give that a little bit of my energy, but not everything. I'm not that into that like I used to be. So it definitely feels like there's something connected to career or something connected here to business, something changing with your public image, your status. Both of these cards in particular make me feel like there's something with career and leadership that could be highly significant for you guys this year. Okay, so let's keep going. What else, Spirit, can you tell us about big changes? Something else that I'm noticing as I'm looking a little closer at your tarot cards, both of these cards talk about friendships. Okay. Loyalty and allegiance, friendship and reconciliation, affinity and friendship, obtain the friendship of anyone. So I also think something that's changing for you guys is friendships and your connections, maybe even your professional network. Like even when I'm looking at this card with the 10th house, we can see this gigantic, I don't know if it's like a business enterprise or like a village or a city, or maybe this could represent like your workplace. I feel like you're going to be connecting with new people through this new venture that you're pursuing this year. New friends, new connections, maybe seeing existing connections a little bit more clearly or a little bit differently than before. Getting rid of these types of connections, not really giving them as much effort and energy as you once did. I feel too, for some of you guys, there could be some sort of idea, some sort of really innovative idea that comes from you, comes from your energy. With Jupiter here in the 1st, it's like Jupiter is connected to higher education and learning and travel. So maybe it's some sort of idea that you have that's really sharp and innovative that comes through your studies, your education, or your backgrounds that takes off this year. Okay, right, let's continue. So tell us more, Spirit. What is changing this year for group 1 in 2026, please? We have the wolf instinct. Much sharper. It's like I see you guys being much more discerning this year about who's in your inner circle and who's not. Like, you're not going to let just anybody get close to you. We have the green man synergy. Yeah. And we have creation. So yeah, there's something about your hopes and dreams that's coming to fruition this year, group 1. The wolf does talk about like being sharp, listening to our gut instincts, following your intuition, and doing what feels kind of natural to you. Again, it just really feels like there is this message of discernment this year. It feels like it's connected to these, like your work or these connections around you, where you're not going to be as open to giving as much of yourself as you once did. The green man is really interesting too, because this talks about, it's like, even though there's something about your public recognition and your public standing that is changing, I do feel there's also this energy of you sort of blending in, kind of like being everywhere but nowhere, or people can't quite pinpoint who you are or what you're doing. You just kind of seamlessly blend into things, right? Because that's kind of this vibe, right? The green man. It's like you can see if you look really closely, you can see his eyes here, right? He's there. He's always present. But you have to look to be able to find him. And so kind of coming back to the 6 of Pentacles again, it just makes me feel that you're being a bit more measured and cautious about your romantic partnerships, your friendships, your network, and especially when it comes to like your creativity, your effort, your energy, your life force energy with Mars. It's more of a stance of blending in versus being really out there. Okay. So this is really interesting. Group number 1. Let's keep going. So what is changing this year, Spirit, for group 1? What's changing? Okay, now hold on now. You guys just seem really sharp and really strategic in how you're moving. Yeah, look, we have the thief. And we have the privileged lady. And then we have occupation. Okay. There's something here about your creative hobbies and interests, or like a personal business that you guys run with this occupation. I really think that what's something that's changing this year is that you're still working on this. This has to do with your creativity, your hopes and dreams. The occupation card is about work that we like doing, work that we enjoy doing. And with Mars in the 5th, one thing that I do want to say is, you guys, especially if you guys work publicly or you have like an online presence, you guys might find that there are people kind of competing with you. I would just say the approach that you're taking is, with the 6 of Pentacles, is like you're not really giving it much energy. But I do feel that you're still continuing to do this work. I just feel with the 6 of Pentacles that you're striving for balance this year. Again, with the thief coming up, this appears to be taking more strategic, sort of unseen, silent moves. Like you're making moves more quietly versus publicly, even though we have public energy here. I just feel like there's something about the way you move undercover, strategically, and sharply and being cautious about who you're aligning with. That's getting you where you want to be publicly or career-wise here. I do think that you guys are going to be feeling really good in terms of like your status, your money, your lifestyle, especially with this privileged lady coming up here. This definitely indicates that you're in a position of being comfortable, right? Maybe even getting some sort of special treatment or getting some sort of promotion, like we were saying earlier. The privileged lady is a life of comfort. And maybe this comes from your businesses or something that you're doing career-wise, okay? Let's keep going. We're just going to get a few more cards, and then we're going to look at timelines of significance for you to look out for this year. We have the house, yeah. Relocation and home. So you guys could be moving. You guys could be relocating for work, I feel, or business matters. We do have control and change coming through. So it's kind of like that dream when your teeth fall out. That usually means that you're feeling out of control with something. So there is a change that's coming. I think it's with your living situation and your work. But with the privileged lady, it seems to be putting you in a really positive position. We also have birds, news, and messages. Yeah, I think, again, there's something about like social media with that fifth house or your community or whoever it is that you interface with when you're doing your creative hobbies and interests. That is significantly changing this year as well. We also have the ocean, distance and journey. So maybe you guys are relocating or moving somewhere kind of far away from where you live now. Let's see. Let's get a few of these and then we'll close it out with some timelines here. So change is coming in this year, 2026 for group 1, please, Spirit. We have care required. Guard yourself against deception and be careful of making foolish mistakes at this time. So with that thief card, just be careful. Trust your gut instinct. Make sure that you are asking all of the right questions, okay? Big changes, Spirit. We have friendship. A friend needs your help, your kindness, and excellent counseling skills will put them back on track. Again, I think this has to do with your inner circle is changing. We do have property, a property purchase or sale for many. Heed security concerns and transactions. So just be mindful of reviewing everything, right, before you sign anything. But yeah, it feels to me, group 1, like the biggest change that's coming up in 2026 for you has to do with your career, public image, and work. And it also has to do with your living situation and your friendships. Who's in your inner circle? Who's aligned with you? So let's just pull from my Empowered Timing Oracle deck. We're just going to take a look at the timelines of significance within 2026 that you guys need to know about. Like, what are the key time frames to look out for in 2026? The holidays. This could be any holiday. It could be like, like the traditional November, December holidays, but it could be any holiday season of significance to you. Could be starting up this current holiday season in 2025. We also have the next air sign season. So as we're viewing this reading, or as you're probably viewing this reading, the next air sign season is going to be Aquarius season. So I think it's probably pointing to some of these things starting off early in the year, right? Late 2025, early 2026. Okay. And then we do have years later. So this could be something as well that you're laying the groundwork for something that's much more permanent, like years in the making, right? So maybe you're going to start to see some of these changes this year as we've seen, but I feel like this is speaking to like you are going to be building out an even bigger shift for yourself as you take steps forward in these changes in 2026. So this is what I see, group 1. Comment below. Let me know what your plans are for next year, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the fluorite and the stained glass tarot, this is going to be your message. And today we're going to be looking into changes headed your way in 2026. So let's go ahead and take a look at these overall energies, and then we'll jump into the tarot. So we start off here with the sun in Pisces in the 12th, vision. We have Venus in Gemini in the 3rd, flattery. And then we've got the moon in Sagittarius in the 9th, optimism. All right, let's get some clarifiers with the tarot to start us off. So Spirit, what is changing this year for group 2? What is changing in 2026? Wow, so we have the Fool. We have the Hierophant. Okay. And then we have the Death card as well. Wow. With the King of Pentacles at the bottom. So the King of Pentacles being here at the bottom is interesting because it makes me feel like there could be an undertone of this change being connected to like your work. Could be connected to maybe a love interest, or like the King of Pentacles can also talk about a boss or even like our own leadership energy and authority. It's a very grounded and practical king, right? Definitely somebody who's going to be supportive, stable, and responsible. So again, this could be your own energy, but it could also be connected to someone you know. Now, what's changing this year? Well, it seems like there's actually a lot changing. I'm kind of starting over here. With the moon in Sag in the 9th, I feel like there's a huge emphasis on foreign or long distance travel. There's a focus on higher education and learning for some of you. And the moon is here. And so this feels like something that's going to be really emotionally gratifying for a lot of you. With death here, it's really interesting because the death card does talk about change. So there could be some sort of a slower change that's initiated this year through you either going to school, exploring higher education, exploring travel. It's welcoming in a new era for you where we're leaving one thing behind in order to transition into something new and different. Maybe some of you guys are even moving or relocating to like a foreign country or something like that. It feels like there's just something about long distance or your education that is helping to set you up for longer term change in the future. Now, with Venus in the 3rd house can talk about communication. It can also talk about like our short distance travel. And it can also talk about relationships with siblings or sibling-like connections, like acquaintances, maybe even coworkers. It's clarified here by the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is very traditional, right? It's tradition, it's structure. I feel like a King of Pentacles likes being in this Hierophant energy a little bit. It can be a little bit more conservative in nature, not necessarily in the political sense, but it's like institutions, if that makes sense. So it's like wherever you are, wherever you're communicating or wherever you're navigating in this upcoming year, there is something changing about those institutions, if that makes sense. And so I think with the Gemini energy with flattery, it's really about the way that you communicate within this construct that you're operating within, right? So just to give like an example, I'm not saying this is the case for all of you, but like let's say this is corporate America, right? There's going to be a certain subset of rules at your company that you have to be able to navigate diplomatically within. It's kind of like the culture of the company, the norms of the company. If this is like a parent, a sibling-like relationship, how are you operating within the traditions and the norms of that relationship, right? This could be religious institutions and things like that as well. So take it as it resonates for you, but there's something connected to your communication house, siblings, sibling-like relationships, and the institutions that those operate within that's changing this year. You guys also have this really beautiful energy of the sun in Pisces in the 12th and the Fool. So again, the Fool is change. It is sort of the energy of embarking on some sort of a new path, taking a leap of faith. And with the sun in Pisces here, it could be a little idealistic. Maybe it's something that you've been simmering on for a while, dreaming about, romanticizing for a while. I don't feel like you guys are totally diving in unprepared, because this Fool, he's kind of standing still, right? He has his dog here. He's not necessarily jumping or about to like walk off the cliff like we see in the traditional depiction of the Fool, where he's just kind of so happy-go-lucky he's missing things and making mistakes. This feels a little bit more planned and a little bit more calm and steady and a little more dreamy. So I feel like a lot of you guys could be visualizing this leap of faith that you want to take, and maybe it is connected to travel or your career or your siblings or some of the other themes and topics that we have brought up. Pisces is very idealistic. It can be very self-sacrificing as well. So maybe for some of you, this is connected to like work that you do or relationships that you have, where the goal is to kind of serve others or serve like a higher calling. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. What else is changing this year for group 2, please, Spirit? Or what else do they need to know? We have dawn, new beginnings. Do you guys notice that is kind of happening here as well with this sun in Pisces? And it makes a lot of sense, right? Because the 12th house comes the first house comes right after the 12th, right? Where the sun is on the horizon. And so I feel like that is kind of maybe how you guys are starting off the year potentially, where it's like there's this sense that this is a new beginning. There's a fresh start on the horizon, something you've been dreaming about, something you've been hoping for. It's starting to come into play. So you're definitely having a new beginning this year, group 2, sorry. One more, please, Spirit. We have dance, celebration. I was getting that vibe a lot here with this moon and Sag as well. Like I feel there is something about your friend group or your personal connections or just having more fun through exploration and travel that is highly significant here. And again, it's like you getting out there and moving around and traveling and doing your thing. It is leading to deeper changes for you with that death card. So again, it may not be that this travel energy becomes super permanent this year, but it's kind of laying the groundwork for more permanent change and transition in your life. So what else, Spirit, can you tell us about these changes for group 2 this year? What else? We have the main female. So I feel like that's your energy, where you guys are going to be like really focusing on you, right? Like you're the main character this year in your life. Let's see. Could even just be like with this main female, this Fool energy, it's like you're stepping into a new version of yourself. We have wealthy man. That's really interesting. So yeah, again, I definitely think there's something about like your work or like short distance travel or like structures that you're a part of. Like it definitely feels like this is work, or maybe this is like a literal wealthy man. We had the King of Pentacles, right? So there's something here about like you maybe like connecting with this type of archetype at your work or in your day-to-day, kind of in your short distance environment. And this is going to be somebody or an institution that has a lot of money. And with Venus here, it could be that you benefit from that in some way. Maybe it's a sugar daddy for some of you. I'm just kidding. But maybe it is. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get another one. And we have lovers here as well with journey. Yeah, so there's definitely like something about traveling that I think is unlocking deeper change. I almost kind of feel for some of you guys in your travels, you're going to meet someone with the Lovers here. And I feel like when you meet this person, it changes things for you because maybe it becomes more serious. Like this Sag energy is very playful and light, and it's like not that deep right away. It's expansive, it's explorative, right? Or again, it's like your education, but like, I don't know, it makes me wonder if you guys are if you're single, if you're gonna meet somebody from like a foreign country or from somewhere long distance that kind of pushes you in a new direction unexpectedly. Let's see. What else, Spirit, for group 2? We have the moon, cycles and change. New cycles, new chapters coming up for sure. And then we also have the bride, wife, and engagement. But then we have choices, indecision here as well. This is so interesting. Yeah, I feel like maybe you're getting married or getting engaged, or it's like you're committing or meeting someone through your travels or through your school. Maybe it's this King of Pentacles for some of you, which would be like really awesome. Well, I guess it depends on what your type is, right? But a King of Pentacles is going to be very stable. This is somebody that wants to get married, right? Like somebody that wants to have a partner that they take care of. Let's get one more. We have the Eye. Envy and protection. Really interesting. I don't really think there's a lot. I don't see anything super negative that you guys need to look out for necessarily. To me, it almost feels like this institution that you're a part of or this wealthy man is somebody that's protecting you, right? Like maybe that's a change that you haven't had this year in 2025. It feels like somebody or this institution is sort of like guarding you, supporting you, looking out for you in some way, keeping you out of harm's way. So I guess that's going to play out differently for everybody, depending on what your personal circumstances are. But let's see. We're going to just pull a couple more of these cards, and then we'll take a look at timelines of significance that you guys may want to be on the lookout for. Changes for group 2. Ooh, romance. Love is set to sizzle. The chance for romance is high for those seeking connection. So that's really beautiful. I think you guys are definitely, for sure, meeting someone, or something is going to the next level with a current partner with that engagement bride energy. We have burnout. Your hard work will see results, but your health needs to be maintained. So check in with your doctor, dentist, and health professional and try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So maybe that's a part of this too. It's like, I just get the sense that you guys are focusing more on having fun. Like, yes, you have this institution, you have this protection. Apparently, you're maybe some financial increases this year as well, with that card coming up at the bottom. But I feel like there is more of this emphasis on fun and celebration and kind of being more free. So maybe that's like a conscious decision that a lot of you guys are making heading into 2026 is like, no, I don't want to only just like work all the time. Like, I want to be able to have fun and just like relax and travel and, you know, balance myself out a little bit more. Okay. So we're going to close it out, group 2, by looking into what timeline within the year 2026 you need to be on the lookout for. So timelines of significance for group 2. Timelines of significance for group 2, please, Spirit. We have the spring. So the spring season is when you could start to see some of these changes come into play. And then we also have Aquarius season coming up. So aqua season being significant. Maybe that's when you're going to do some of this traveling for some. One more. And then we have 6 months. Nice. February coming up as well. But 6 months from now, would be, let's see, this is going up in November. So December, so probably like May timeline could be significant for some of you guys too. So it looks really exciting. Group 2, comment below. Let me know what your plans are and if you feel like your plans are coming through in this reading at all for next year. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey Group 3, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Good Tarot and the Sunstone, this is going to be your message about what changes are coming through for you in 2026. So we're going to start with these Oracle and Tarot cards, and then toward the ending of your reading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some time frames of significance that you may want to watch out for in 2026 to see when these changes may be occurring for you. So let's go ahead and jump into the overall energies. All right, so we've got Mars in the 10th in Capricorn, authority. We've got Moon in Gemini in the 3rd, adaptability. And then we've got Venus, I'm sorry, not Venus. We have Jupiter in Pisces in the 12th, seduction. Interesting. Let's pull some clarifying tarot cards here. What else can you tell us, Spirit, please, about what else can you tell us, please, Spirit? All right, we've got the 9 of Cups. Wow. The 6 of Wands. And the Page of Pentacles as well. Wow. All right, well, let's go ahead and see what is up for you guys. All right. With Mars in the 10th in Capricorn and the 9 of Cups, I feel like one big change that's coming your way is maybe some of you guys are getting something that you really wanted as it pertains to your career and your public image. It definitely feels like career to me, especially with authority, because to me, this almost looks like you guys getting like bumped up to like a leadership position or being recognized or acknowledged as a leader. And with Mars in the 10th, this is going to be an energy where we're putting a lot of energy into our career and our public image. And so maybe for some of you, this is something that you're working really hard on in 2026, or maybe it's something you've been working really hard on now in 2025. And with the 9 of Cups, it's like you're getting the thing that you want, right? 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. It is an energy of getting something that we want. I could even see this being like a dream job for some of you guys, if that resonates with you, if that's something you've been working towards. I definitely think though, like you're being elevated to some sort of a position of power. And with Mars, this is going to be passionate energy, right? Something you feel really excited about. Maybe something that you had to compete to get for some of you. And there could be like a competitive driven energy to what you're doing. With Capricorn here though, it kind of tempers it a little bit, I would say. You know, Capricorn energy is about like that dedicated, slow pace, working hard, right? So there's that passion, that effort and energy that you've put into something, and it seems like you're getting what you want. You guys also have Moon in Gemini in the 3rd with the 6 of Wands. So something else that is changing, and maybe this is connected to this authority position that I see you in. Something else that's going to be changing is I think you're going to have more variety, flexibility, and maybe even more autonomy in sort of like your day-to-day routines or work that you do in your communication. Like you guys might have to communicate with a lot of different people or juggle or balance a lot of different things when it comes to your like 3rd house is communication, but it's also like siblings, sibling-like relationships. I would even say like coworkers can fall under that as well for some of you, because those tend to be more of those like acquaintance-like types of connections, right? And we have the 6 of Fire here, which is the 6 of Wands. So there's something about leadership in the way that you communicate and being flexible and adaptable to maybe communicate with a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. I also kind of feel for some of you, there's like this travel-y energy to this. So the 3rd house is more like our neighborhood, like our short distance commutes versus long distance. But I do kind of feel like there's a voyage or something, like like a traveling by water or traveling overseas by air that's like significant to this. So maybe some of you guys have siblings or coworkers that are in like different cities or different countries, and that could be a part of like why there's flexibility and adaptability needed in the way you communicate. But it feels beautiful. Like the Six of Wands is definitely success that you're achieving and leadership energy that you are achieving this year. Now we also have Jupiter in Pisces in the 12th, and it says seduction with the Page of Earth being here. So Jupiter is a very expansive planet. So anything that it hits is going to be magnified. And Pisces is a very like emotionally attuned and spiritually attuned, empathetic sort of sign. So it's really interesting because I feel like there is something connected to empathy and even like the heart here, like love. It could be love life stuff, but there's something about like empathy and expansion of that empathy, and maybe how am I trying to say this? Like this card sort of talks about how it can be easy to get lost or taken advantage of because of your empathy, right? And so that might be something that you guys are working through this year as well, because I definitely get the sense that you are very compassionate and empathetic with that Jupiter and Pisces energy. And the 12th house can talk about things like our spiritual inner world, but it can also talk about like hidden enemies. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I just feel like you have a lot of people around you this year. And so you just want to be really mindful that you're not letting your empathy get the best of you. Okay, if that makes sense, just be discerning. But with the Page of Pentacles here, this is sort of like a student energy, right? And so maybe there's something connected to this expansion in Jupiter and Pisces where you're learning something through this experience this year. So some of you could even be learning or educating yourselves more on your spiritual gifts, your psychic gifts and things like that, or learning more about this beautiful empathetic trait that you embody. Definitely going to be a lot of opportunity for expansion in those 12th house themes for you this year. Okay, let's keep going. Group 3, what else? What else, Spirit, for Group 3 is changing? What else do they need to know about these changes, rather? We have occupation. Yeah. So it's like you guys are going to be doing work that you love with this 9 of Cups, something that you are known for, that you're really, really passionate about. Like this, the occupation card is beautiful because this shows me that whatever you're doing publicly, whatever you're leading, whatever you're working on, it's something that you love. It's something creative. It's something that you genuinely enjoy doing. Okay. What else? We have courtship. Ooh. Maybe you guys are meeting somebody through all of these like connections. Maybe you're dating a lot. Let's see. We have great fortune. You guys are so blessed this year. I'm so excited. We also have the Lovers. I do think you guys are going to be dating someone this year, someone significant, Group 3. With this courtship energy, it's coming up again in the 3rd house. So there's something about communication and being flexible and adaptable with all of your people or your partners, acquaintances. Maybe you're meeting somebody in your like short distance commutes or travels, or through your work communications. There's a romantic courtship coming, which is really, really exciting. But yeah, I don't think the Jupiter in Pisces is going to necessarily be bad because we have the great fortune. It does come with that warning to like not be taken advantage of. But I think that you're like the great fortune card. I think it talks about getting like, I think it's money connected. Let me just double check the guidebook because I don't want to tell you guys wrong. This says this is the most enabling and powerful and positive card. So that's a great, great thing. Let's see. All of your wishes are coming true. Outstanding good luck, triumph, wealth, happiness, and fruitfulness. Everything's aligned with your true purpose. Okay. Unexpected good luck. Let's see. So it's kind of like a period of just general good fortune for you. New perspectives and improvements in relationship matters. Great fortune indicates new opportunities and job matters as well. And with that Page of Pentacles being here, I do feel like there is something. I actually feel like that card's come up in a couple readings besides yours, but the Page of Pentacles is sort of like a new opportunity to learn or work or intern somewhere. So maybe there's something small that you guys are getting that's going to blow up into something much bigger. Like maybe this role, which is really exciting. All right, let's see what else. What else, Spirit, does Group 3 need to know about these changes this year? I'm so excited for you. This looks so exciting and positive. We have the fog, veiled. Okay. Kind of makes sense with Pisces. Okay, and then we have fire, passion as well. And maybe this is coming after a period where maybe not a lot's been happening for you guys, right? Like maybe it's feeling like things have been slow or kind of dry in your life. Not this year. Not this year. So I think with the fog card coming up, it kind of again comes with that same message that we had with Pisces, right? Just make sure that you are asking the right questions and seeing things clearly as they are, not through an illusion or a projection of what you wish that it could be. Okay. This also is telling me that not everything is being revealed just yet, or it may be revealed slowly to you. Like the sun is slowly peeking through the fog that we see here in this card, right? So I think specifically, maybe as it even pertains to this job or career opportunity, it might kind of peek through before it fully reveals itself or the light is fully shed on it. So I would just say be patient, because with that Mars energy, I feel like you guys might be a little impatient. Like, when is it going to happen for me? When is it coming? Just trust that it is, but it might be a little slow to reveal itself, okay? But then we have the fire energy, passion, which is so beautiful. I think this is just going to be a year where you guys are really energized. You've got a lot of really exciting stuff going on. You're like connecting with friends, you're connecting with a love interest for sure this year. You're in a period of really good fortune in your career and just like all of your prospects. So it seems just like you're going to be having a great year. Just a lot of fun. As I'm shuffling, I'm seeing the heart. We'll see if it comes back out again. So what else, Spirit, for Group 3? What else, Spirit, for Group 3? We have luck and money, coins. I definitely think that's supported. So your financial situation is going to be changing as well. Okay. We have the dolphins, playfulness and cooperation, which makes sense with that third house, Gemini. It's like, I think you're going to have a lot of connections, a lot of friends, a lot of acquaintances, coworkers that you're communicating with, maybe even in group settings. Whoop. Now hold on. We've got too many coming out. All right, and let's look at this last one here. One more, please, Spirit. We have the moon, cycles and change. So funny because, you know, that's exactly what this reading is about. Yeah, it's like there's like a new cycle opening up for you, especially with that Page of Pentacles. It feels like a new opportunity for growth and maybe development in your career, where you're going to get to learn something new or intern or shadow or just do something that's leading to a higher position for you, getting something that you want. But we do have the turtle, slowness. So just make sure, again, as I was saying, you want to make sure you're being patient and not like rushing the process without unpacking all the details first, okay? So we're just going to do a couple more cards and then we'll take a look at the timelines for you guys. Okay. So what else, Spirit, does Group 3 need to know? What is changing for Group 3 this year? We have surprise. A disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. An invitation could bring love to those searching. Okay. Interesting. So something coming in that surprises you. Wisdom. To focus on the past is to lose the future. Heed advice from an older person, which will allow you to move on. Yeah, so I think it's like letting go of disappointments and embracing the newness in front of you, because you guys definitely have a lot of positive energy coming your way this year. We also have this energy of declutter at the bottom. So letting go of people, situations, coworkers, whatever, that no longer serve you in your highest good, and moving forward with the things that do. Okay. All right, Spirit. So as energy stands today, what does group 3, when can group 3 anticipate these changes within the year 2026? We have a few weeks from now, so maybe some of this stuff is coming up. Like, I'm posting this in November, so maybe this is coming up toward the end of 2025 or starting at the end of 2025 for you guys. Ooh, we also have a Cancer season, so kind of like that June, July timeframe could be significant for some of these changes as well. Okay, one more. Whoop. And then we also have during vacation and travel. So when you're traveling, I think that's when you're gonna meet this person. But it's not like something super long distance, I don't think, with the third house. I think it's something that's more short distance, driving distance. When you're out there like having fun, I think you're going to meet somebody, group 3. So I'm excited for you. This is what I see. Comment below. Let me know kind of like what your plans are for 2026, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye.